What? Shout help. With me, and we might lure a bird. Ross said since she had been mentioning the girl for months, tonight was a prime chance to move forward. Ross' words seemed to give Nate a boost of confidence, and soon after she showed up at the art exhibit where Sherry walked over. She thought the tall boy would stand her up, but he came, boosting her liking for Nate. To celebrate, they went to a nearby bar when an untimely voice popped up, Nate's high school mate. She acted totally shocked that Nate was alive, playfully punched Nate's shoulder, and shared the giggle with everyone as if it was the funniest thing ever. Nate showed no reaction. Her childhood was spent in hospitals or enduring bullying and mockery, so her heart became impervious. Her thought ended, the alarm rang. Nate rushed to the restroom, but when she came out, she saw Sherry chatting animatedly with a classmate. Nate, puzzled and upset, rallied and approached. Sherry found her classmate amusing and suggested a drink to forget past awkwardness. Since she said so, who'd resist? Nate could only nod his head in agreement, and immediately the bartender handed over 2 glasses of drink. The 2 girls raised their glasses and drank them in one gulp. It turned out that everything Nate had just seen was merely an illusion. Sherry did this to vent for her, shining like a light into Nate's icy heart. The 2 headed back to Nate's place, where that night Sherry not only got to appreciate Nate, but she also inked a tattoo. They shared a lovely moment together, and Nate thought her happy life was finally beginning, but fate had a cruel joke in store. Today was Christmas. Watching Sherry busy at work, Nate thought to say hi, but then in walked 3 guys dressed like Santa Clauses into the bank, and the bank manager looked thrilled. The robbers quickly used their weapons to take control of the scene. Everyone hit the floor, and the robbers grabbed the bank manager. Subtitles. They demanded the code. He refused, so they shot him in the head. Then came the bank's deputy. That was Nate. She was dragged to the vault, saw blood on the floor and terrified Sherry, and froze. Despite being beaten, Nate showed no reaction, feeling neither pain nor fear. When the robber was about to act violently, Sherry stopped him. The robbers quickly realized these 2 had a special connection, so they shifted focus to Sherry. Nate's reaction confirmed their hunch, and she finally revealed the vault's password. They shoved Sherry aside, knocked Nate out with a pistol whip, opened the vault, and took all the cash inside. Just as they were about to leave, the police arrived. Seeing this unfold, the robbers grabbed Sherry, and the hostage made the police hesitate. They stuffed her into a car, and they fled by car. With police overstretched during the holiday, Nate knew he had to rescue Sherry alone and was about to chase in a police car. But she noticed a severely injured officer, quickly unbuckled her belt to tie around his leg and stop the bleeding, then grabbed a police gun and got into the squad car. With one press of the gas, she shot out of there. Before long, the robbers noticed the police curtailing them and fired a shot in its direction. They were not about to be caught. Minutes later, the police pulled her into the car, and the robbers planned to split up to shake off the pesky pursuers. Nate was stumped, unsure which car Sherry was in, so she randomly picked one and followed. The robbers were then thinking how to ditch this nuisance. Subtitles. Suddenly, an obstacle emerged right before their eyes, and Nate didn't seem to be bothered at all. Chasing each other into the hotel kitchen, the robbers, unable to ditch Nate, planned to kill her, but she vanished when they caught up. A small burn didn't faze Nate at all. One robber kicked her, then unleashed a barrage of hits that seemed relentless, but Nate was still standing there like a wooden statue. She even seized the moment to toss flour all over the robber. The robber was outraged and just grabbed a nearby knife. The robber headed northwest. To investigate further, he took a photo of the robber's tattoo, but was beaten up. At that moment, Nate's tattoo got a beat down, and in his first step of investigation, he took a picture of the robber's tattoo. Then, she hopped back into the robber's car and filled her one true gaming buddy, Ross, in on the situation. Hand emailed letter 30 handle 0 copyright paragraph meaning letter 2330 corner quarter pan sign turned direct reflex a quarter area 30 mat day 30 mat pan sign half times divided by 3 currents sign paragraph carry kitu gross elect chair 0 u circumflex not sign as r plus or minus equal via quarter or tilde e acute Arabic letter 673 not sign 08 mat micro yen legat dz copyright. She sent him the tattoo photo to find out the artist. Ross refused at first, as they were only gaming friends. They hadn't met, risking legal trouble, but he relented after Nate said she was his only friend. Subtitle: Outside the bank, police had surrounded the area. Based on witnesses and the scene, there were 3 robbers. Thus, the bank's assistant manager had bolted with the robbers, and one officer had nabbed a car and followed the madman, claiming it was the guy who had Nate got inexplicably roped into being an accomplice to the robbers without knowing. She ended up at a client's shop where she used to work. She needed to treat her wounds here. An old man watched as Nate took a knife and widened them. He was terrified. Who would have thought Nate was so hardcore? The old guy was even more astonished when Nate took some pliers and started rummaging through her wound, saying, "Hey, here it is," she exclaimed, then grabbed some glue and squeezed it into the wound to seal it up. After finishing up, she was about to leave but felt weak from blood loss. She pulled out some adrenaline and jabbed it into her side. She instantly revived, brimming with fight. Before leaving, she gave the old man some cash, knowing he was still struggling, a small gesture of kindness. "You might want to do some laundry." Just as she stepped out, she got a message from Ross. Ross found the tattoo artist's address, so Nate drove off quickly. Soon, police returned to the hotel kitchen Nate had disrupted. There was a body here, a witness claimed. It was a guy in a suit. "Did you get his phone number?" "I just robbed the bank." "You killed the guy. Did you really think he was just asking for your digits?" Nate quipped. "Hey, Nate. This is Det, Barbermancy, San Diego Police. Caught anyone else?" Subtitle: Is Sheriff's security safe? Lala said they're trying, but if Nate surrenders, efficiency would soar. Nate got it. They saw her as an accomplice, so she quickly denied interest in the money.